Ja, okay. Sonst. So. Hello. Happy wishing hours here at the Lagoon's health items. So I have some pretty unfortunate news, and I don't want to start this video off like this, but unfortunately I just returned from the basement, and the journals that I keep where I write my songs has been missing. So all the whole albums I've been working on for about years now is completely gone, but I've managed to find and save one of the songs, guys. But we're not really here today in this video to speak upon the Emperor Melkor's personal albums, but I just want you to know though, not all is lost, because once I was on the way out of the basement, I found Gill-boy's Pineapple Sparandus, and so I've been drinking my sorrows away, and I just probably have to rewrite the songs, you know, and it's not like I don't remember what they say, but when you handwrite songs, there's forms of a dark alchemy involving in it, and so, you know, it's pretty serious. So please offer up your sacrificial rites for Melkor to be able to find his diaries. But anyways, hang on. So today we are going to talk about a very brutal band, and that is Dimmu. So Dimmu, great bands. They have many periods, okay, and every period is very brutal and black metals, right? But we are going to talk about In Sorte Diables, Satan. So we're here to talk more about one of the greatest Norwegians, the black metal bands, and that's Dimmu. Now, this is one of those bands that has really inspired many other bands, because it's even inspired this, the cartoons, Metalocalypse. Yes, this makes lots of references to this band, and that's good because they are really good, brutal bands, right? So I know what you're saying. So Emperors, enlighten us with your notes. Okay, and so as I will. So Dimmu is a Norwegian symphonic black metal band from Jessheim, formed in 1993. Okay, the name is derived from Dimmu, a volcanic formation in Iceland, the name of which means dark cities or dark castles and fortresses in Icelandic forces and Old Norse. So you could tell it's right there. This is so brutal. It's so cool. You know, modern black metal bands, they don't even have good names. It's just like it's like, you know, one word. It's not even that brutal like Dimmu. So the band has been through, like I said earlier, numerous lineups, you know, various changes over the years. Vocalist Sargoth and rhythm guitarist Solint are the only original members who still remains. It's great corpse paint. Guys, this is really phenomenal singers with the voice of a beautiful diamond, right? And then they have the sideliner guys, who also kind of has a very beautiful, powerful voice. So we could go on and on about the histories of the bands, right? And I would have to say that I really think that this is a good place to start. If you're trying to say get into Dimmu, I would recommend this albums. And then they also has a really good albums called In Throne Darkness Triumphant, and the ones hang on, was this the ones with the gardens, right? You know, it's got this they don't even have it on here. Wait a minute, that's not true. They has another albums. They have 3 albums. There's false informations on this website, but it's, hang on, I'm going to have to Google it, because Melkor doesn't, hang on. Sauce. Yeah. The Godless Savage Gardens. Still really great albums. So I would recommend those 3 albums if you're trying to really stop being a poser and listen to better music. Yes, so basically during this period of the band's Dimmu Borgir's 7th studio album, En Sorte Diablo, was released on April 24th, 2007. Guys. And then a special edition version was released with both cases with a DVDs backward wrapped printed lyrics and a mirrors. The album artwork was released on February 14th, 2007 on a promotional webpage for the albums. And this is the DVDs that they're talking about. It's really beautiful. So open it up. Look at that, it's got sight in there. Right, and then he's got the disc here. And the disc is missing because I've got it on the TVs now, and I've been listening to it. And you get this nice little pamphlets right here, right? And this, you get the CD as well, right? It's so beautiful. Look at it, isn't it cool? Yeah, so this is really great collections. And, Gill-boy is always trying to be very proud about it. And Thor's has basically summoned Stormblast, as you hear. And now he'll never see this again. So I just wanted to show that off, because we're going to be really more talking about the albums. But I wanted to show you that because there's really lots of cool versions of this periods of the bands, right? So anyways, the album features once more the drumming of Hellhammers of Mayhems, who's on the records. And the Boomlugs, there's previous ones that they made tour in 2007 because of a neck injury that resulted in limited movement of his right arms. Right? So with the release of this album, Dimmu Borgir became the first black metal band with the #1 album on the charts in their native countries. So in October 2008, they released their second live DVD set, The Unviable Darkness, which was based on several shows during the world tour supporting in Sorte Diablo. In 2008, the band played the UK Festivals Bloodstock. Yeah, so it's great DVDs, can't recommend it enough, like I said. So you should really check that out when you can. So in 2009, we're going to try to keep up, so we're moving pretty fast. We got a lot to talk about. The members IC's Vortex and Moostus independently announced their departure for Dimmu Borgir. Right? Moostus released a statement claiming his disfavor with the band, stating that he was not properly credited for his writing contributions to the band's music's mission, possibly taking legal actions. Dimmu Borgir soon after confirms the pair's dismissal from the band, releasing a statement explaining why the two were fired. Segar's Salons and Glada wrote funny Zans how's the new album is halfway finished, written already by the rest of us without any of these guys' input, still having all those elements we're known for. So again, this is kind of similar to the Cradles of Fields, right? Whereas you have someone who's really posers and they're just really the most hired musicians, yes. So anyways, back to the albums, right? So I don't know if you can see it, but it says there's only 100 of these nights, and this is number 52, right? And so if you add 5 plus 2 is 7. Yes. And that means completions. And, so it's pretty satanic. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful sauce. This was gold vinyls from Nuclear Unlimited. So this is very rare albums, but we're going to go ahead and take it out of its sleeves as its proper fashions, right? And it's got a little dent here, but it was packaged that way. But you open it up here and you got everything is so serious upside down, right? So you got to turn it this way to fully rooted, right? And it's just really great, right? They got the best songs. Almost every songs on this album is perfect. There's not bad songs on this album. Zero skip albums for Emperor Melkor. And it starts side A. Let's just go ahead and break that. So side A is the Serpentine Offerings. So it's one of the greatest songs about Satan's ever made. Then you get the Chosen Legacy, which is pretty brutal, and the conspiracy unfolds and sacrilegious scorns, right? And then the B-side is the Fallen's arises, right? Okay, and then the Sinister's awakenings, and then we go right into the fundamental alienations, okay, and that's really reminds of when I was in prison not too long ago. But anyways, it's pretty black metals. Then you have the invaluable darkness, and then we end on the foreshadowing furnace, which is really great, guys. But let's go ahead and take out the records. Let's look at it. Hang on. Look at it. Based on its beautiful. It's pure gold, right? Okay, look at that other side. Isn't that beautiful? It's almost like Melkor's hair. Yes, it's so good. So we're going to look at the lyrics here soon. But 1 second. Go ahead and pull this out. Put this in. Make sure it's nice and it's not here. And since you get, the magical sigils, guys, and it's kind of very similar, so Melkor is showing some of his secrets. So I put the tape recorders here, and then I sing my songs, and it's telling you, you're gonna be in for a treat soon, boys and girls. But anyways, back to Dimmu Borgir and not the Emperor. We have the band members here. So this is Sargas, guys. Got this. He looks like Melkor's. Except Melkor's has better beards. And then we have Selenos, Kais, Baldur's, and Mustar, Mal, Sargos, and Hellhammers. So it's the dude from my hams right there. There he is. Look at his hair. And then I think these are the guys who left the albums, the bands, because they're poses. So anyways, like I said, Melkor understands, it's almost any time you create a black metal band, somebody's in the band is not really truly black metals as they leave mid-tour, or as they falls down on shovels. So but we're not here to talk about that. So you see, we can't talk about it. Okay. So inside is this nice little booklet here. Hang on, Melkor show you the passions, and it has this beautiful art of Father Lucifer. Look at Satan. He's on his crowns. Look at it. Yes. So cool. I get really excited when I see Dimmu Borgir stuff because it's so brutal. But basically you get a short little novella here, and it's basically this whole album is concept art, right? And see, here's the lyrics again, but this time they're not upside down because I understand you want to study them so you can understand the coded message and truly give your life to Satan. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and read to you the Serpentine Offerings, okay? My descent is the stories of every man. I am hatred, darkness, and despair. Yes. My descent is the stories of every man. I am hatred, darkness, and despair. Guys, evolved and entertained through centuries, wrathful and sullen, dormant steel the velocity provides everywhere, waiting to be released at last. Hear my offerings, you bastard sons and daughters, share my sacrifices. Share my sacrifices. So again, Melkor's asking for your sacrifices so I can find my diaries so as I can continue to write brutals black metal songs like this. Okay, let's continue. Here's how it goes. It says, so basically it just repeats, my descent in the story of Everman's hatred, darkness, and despairs. My descent in the stories of Everman's hatred, darkness, and despair. So, yes, reconcile not with the fears of the snake, but embrace it as your own. Inject its venoms, you should, into your vines. Do it needs to be done. And replant the seed that gives growth still shrouded in mysteries, until you arise above perception. A veil of ignorance is the motion continuing throughout generations. This is so profound right there. A veil of ignorance is the motion continuing throughout multiple interpretations. Let me be the one to deliver you from the states, and back into perfect accordance with the laws of nature, right? The snakes is notoriously tempting, but the snakes is fierce. What is worse than not knowing to live or despair? So, the ferocity pervades everywhere, waiting to be released at last. Hear my offerings, you bastard sons and daughters. Share my sacrifice. Share my sacrifices. So it's a brutal song. So it's got great progressions. And one thing that I'll say about Dimmu's Borgir is that they have unique sounds that really separates them from other black metal bands like Summerhands and, of course, Dog Funerals, Souls, Janos, and even Abbas. Okay, so there's a little more symphonics, and I would even say that one band, Lorna Shores, right, is, blackened death metalcore, right? And they take a lot of inspirations from Dimmu Borgir with their symphonic natures and stuff like that. So Dimmu Borgir is one of those black metal bands that you put it on and you instantly know it's them, It's, so lots of black metals, it all sounds very shitty, it's low budgets, it's all kinds of like the same, and which is good, it should be, that's how you know it's black metals. But this is how you know it's Dimmu Borgir, because it's very symphonic, it's like some movies, so you're watching like the great films, and it has that wonderful powerful scores, and so that's how it's just like listening to Dimmu Borgir. And this beautiful albums is really a concept album about a priest who realizes he's God's poser, and he realizes that Father Lucifer will show him the true ways to life. And so he falls into it right during the Inquisitions. Yes, I know, no one expects the Spanish Inquisitions, because I thought they were going to show that. So anyways, he's trying to hide that he knows the truth from posers. So a lot of this is also allegorical for the black metal scenes. And so you could even tell, so things that happen to Dennis, Cradle of Filth happens to sagas of Dimmu Borgir, because you lose people mid-tour because they cannot truly be black metals and brutals. So, hang on. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, so the next one we're going to read, and then I'll leave you to listen to this record yourselves. But it's called The Sacrilegious Scorns. So, and it says here, have I not been too long in your shadows of invention and creations, as I rightfully beheld flesh? Fear of the conscious mind will have you facing away. My words and words holds around and it's reels. Your word is like floods of poison waters. Language spoken with speed from different tongues. It all seems like an eternity. This battle between us two, good and evil. Amazed. And you, so time has come to step up and take back what you've taken. from me. Yes, the songs that I was listening to was, anyways, hang on, Scott remembers. Yeah, so, my words and words grounds and reels. Your words is like the floods of poison waters. It's good, just drink it, dies. A language spoken with speed from a different tongues who can never corrupt me as against, I can't, cause I understand that you just really listen to fake bands. So the times come step up and take what you have taken and took from me can never corrupt Melkor again. So I protect every man guilty of sin. The ultimate sins are the reference of great albums of brings me. That's actually his code name for Melkor's ultimate sense. So the vapor of Rome's plague that infested my mind's bodies and souls, obscured my view from wisdoms, the mist that had me, who in the Testament cleared and troubles me no more. So various rails written lyrics, various really just epic chord progressions, the beats of the drums, the bass beats, the brutals. That sounds a lot like some Mayhems, I wonder why. But anyways, so it's, just to read and serenade you once more. So it's part of the storylines, try to keep up. Guys, you hear me, what you believe to be true is false, what you thought right wrongs. And the chosen few have been granted the knowledge from the bearer of truths. Titans. Knowledge it has attempted to impart unto us since the dawn of our existence. For this, it has always been vilified. For this, we were bred to fear and hate him, to denounce all his words as lies. I tell you now, this is not so. I too once believed as you do. I too once condemned and hated and feared he who lives in darkness. For I bore the cross of gold and followed the father of your church as do you, but your shepherd, this Savior, this Christ child, is the true father alive. For he is the one genuine evils, the one you call the light. I have since renounced him and all he deems holy. I have earned this book of lies and flung my crucifix into the deepest goods. The robes of my ignorance have been shattered to ashes in this house of deception, but there is still time. We can free ourselves from the misery this false prophet has imposed, for I know the true story. I know them to be true, for they are true. You will feel it in your hearts. You will know it in your soul, and you must listen for your sake, for the sake of your children, or for the sake of the race of man. So I don't want to continue too much because it's something that really needs to be studied and taken in. So what more can we say about this album? Okay, so it's really brutal. If you are interested, honestly, in getting into black metals and the meters, the mayhems, is something that's not really commercial enough for you. Hang on, put this back in here. Then I would say, maybe this has a more, higher, cleaner sounds with the symphonics. So like I said, it's, you could tell it's Dimmu Borgir because they're very precise. Says plays a note with fear, and the whole band has been blessed by Satan. So this truly is satanic music. It's beautiful. It's every time I listen to it, I feel like I'm hanging out with Count Orlocks in the Carpathian Mountains. Yeah, and it's just really it's a good fine transitions into traditional black metals with that fantasy sounds, and the storylines like it's unique of a priest realizing who the true poser is and who the true god of light is, right? So it's a great story. It should be turned into a movie, but they would probably mess it up, right? So we have the albums, and like I said, the live performances on this totally brutal. So this would be probably in your best interest to buy both of these at the same times. And I would. And I was lucky to get number 52s of 100 of that. I was listening to it all the times. It's a great record to listen to on Candlemas, February 1st, or of course Halloween's, October 31st. So anyways, let's go ahead and just kind of wind down these videos. Dimmu Borgir's great bands, it's really great, and anytime you watch Melkor, you can tell that there are similar sounds even in that bands. So Dimmu Borgir has influenced a lot of black metals, metalcores, and all of current metals, and they will always leave a lasting impression because they are truly brutal. And I hope that they come and tour in America so I can come see them, because I don't have a passport, because I still think some's in jails. But they never find me. The Lagoon is hidden there as well. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your witching hours by listening to In Sorte Diabolis, which really translates in League with Satan, or in Conspiracy of Satans. So check it out. You will truly feel the presence of Lucifer, and you will become closer to God. So anyways, stay brutal, and don't remember to hate everyone. There's no common ground between poses and, Dimmu Borgir listeners. So stay brutal. Until next time, I'm gonna go get the shovels.